welcome to Fort Nisqually's YouTube channel. My name's Jim. Today we're going to be making sauerkraut. In an era before refrigeration, it was necessary to preserve your food because you couldn't always count on having fresh food to eat every day of the week. And so people living during this time period found ways to preserve their food, and one of those ways was through fermentation. Essentially, sauerkraut is nothing more than fermented cabbage. So for us to be able to make sauerkraut today, first thing that we have to do is go out and harvest that cabbage. Come along and I'll show you how we're going to do that. So we're going to harvest the cabbage now. This is one of the cabbages that we've had growing in the Heritage Garden here at Fort Nisqually. To harvest this cabbage, we're just going to twist it to break off the root stem, and then we're going to remove the outer leaves. Let me show you how that works. And that's how we do it. Now that we've harvested our cabbage, the next thing we want to do is just remove the outer leaves, so that any of the leaves that were chewed on by bugs, we take those off, and we're going to cut it into quarters and also remove the core, because the stem grows into the cabbage and creates a core, and it's pretty tough, and so you want to remove that. So that's what we're going to do next. So after we cut the cabbage and we remove the core, next thing I want to do is just give it a quick rinse in our wash pan of fresh water, because you will have some residual dirt, possibly some insects inside that you want to remove before you begin shredding it. By just gently removing or pulling back the leaves slightly, you can work your fingers and thumb in and make sure that you wash out any residual dirt or foreign particles that you don't want to become part of your sauerkraut. Now that we have cut, cored, and washed our cabbage, we're going to go ahead and shred it into the 1/8 inch pieces that we need for making sauerkraut. Cabbage has been shredded, we're going to add it to our crock and make sure to include the salt that's needed to start breaking down the texture, the tissues of the cabbage, and bring out the moisture, which will create the fermentation process. As I add the cabbage to the crock, I'm also going to layer in my salt. Step in the process for making sauerkraut is going to be to mash it. Once you add the cabbage to your crock with the salt, then you're going to mash it to release the juices inside to really speed up that fermentation process. One of the things that you'll notice is the liquid is really starting to come out of the cabbage. That's exactly what you're looking for. So now that the cabbage has been crushed and the liquid is really coming out, the next step in this process is going to be to add our weighted lid. You can see that this lid has holes in which we were able to add cotton string because this lid fits very closely within the crock, and if it didn't have this handle, or if this handle becomes submerged, I would want something else to be able to lift it out, and so I've added this string to be able to lift out the lid when we get ready. Now I'm going to place the lid inside, and the next thing is going to be to cover it with a white cloth and then to tie that cloth on. It's going to stay with the cloth on it for approximately 5 days. So we've essentially made sauerkraut today. It still needs to ferment, and the ideal temperature for fermenting cabbage for making sauerkraut is approximately 70 degrees. This is going to take about 5 to 10 days. The warmer the temperature, the fewer the days, but still I would allow from 5 to 10 days. After 5 days of fermentation, you should be able to sample, taste a little bit of your sauerkraut, and let it go as long as you like it to go to get the tart flavor that you're looking for. If you like it to be more tart, you're going to want to leave it a little bit longer. Thanks for joining us here at Fort Nisqually's YouTube channel today. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please like us on social media, subscribe, and follow us on all of our different pages, which will be listed at the bottom of the screen. Have a great day.